Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and today we are getting ready together, I hope, with a bunch of new makeup. Every so often, I like to do a little get ready with me, with you guys, just using some new makeup, giving you some first impressions or impressions overall. Keeping in mind that these products are new, so I haven't used them for a length of time. These are not final reviews, but I just like to show you what's new to my collection and put it on my face so you can see these products in action. So I've already primed my face because I wanted to let it sit and soak in, but I used the I Heart Revolution Coconut Dream Hydrating Primer with vitamin C and E. I believe this was like $8 from Ulta, and if I'm being honest, I think it's like half gone already. I have used this quite a bit. I don't know that it does anything. It definitely feels hydrating. It smells like coconut. I was kind of hoping this would be dupey for the First Aid Beauty Coconut Smoothie Primer, which I love and want to purchase. But alas, it is not. It's not luminous. It kind of has, like, as you rub it in, you have that coconut smell, but as you rub it into your face, it kind of gets a sour smell. So this is definitely not a favorite, but it is the primer I use today. So for foundation, this is a product I don't believe I've used on my channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Either way, it is fairly new to my collection and I wanted to talk a little bit about it. It is the Missha Perfect Cover BB Cream and I have mine in the shade number 23. I believe I purchased this off of Yes Style. This is what it looks like. This one does look a little gray upon first application, but I do feel like it sinks in and, doesn't look gray after, it's sort of set down. Ooh, that was way too much on the forehead. So I do like to apply this first with my fingers and then I will go back in with a sponge and just sort of press it into the skin, absorb any excess product, and just make sure it's blended overall and whatnot. So hopefully you can see it does not make my skin look gray, at least not in my opinion, and not in real life. So I'm going to go ahead and pounce it into my skin. This does have a slight floral scent to it, and it does linger at least until the product is completely dried down. So if that's an issue for you, you may want to skip this one, but it is a beautiful product, and surprisingly for a BB cream, it does last on my skin all day long, even during the warmer months. The concealer I'm going to use today is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer with hyaluronic acid and acai, medium to full coverage, and I have mine in the shade C7. I had bought this quite a while ago, actually pretty close to the launch, but it was not the right shade. And so far, I'm really liking this concealer. It definitely feels hydrating. I mean, even upon just applying it to the back of my hand, I could feel the hydration on the skin on my hand. So I think it looks nice. I think it's actually a really good shade match for me right now. It's brightening, but it's not brightening to the point where it makes me look older, which is definitely a possibility. And I like it so far. I'm curious how many of you have tried this. I know a lot of people were excited when Revolution announced that they were going to be doing kind of a hydrating version of their Conceal and Define. And you know, I was one of them. But the powder is the Hourglass Veil Translucent Powder, and I just got the mini because I wanted to try it. If I love it, of course, I will repurchase it, but I also have other loose powders that I need to work through. So I'm just going to put a little bit of it on this ring dish here that I always have on my vanity, but I start under the under eye area and then I work my way up in small pressing motions. This is not by any means my favorite powder for setting under the eyes. I really love my number 7 Perfect Light pressed powder for the under eye. Do I think it's worth the hype? I don't. I really don't. I mean, it's a nice loose powder. I still think I like my Laura Mercier powder better. And that, my friend, is the powder. So you can see here that, you know, it's set, but it's not matte, it's not flat. Going into bronzer, this is the Kiko Milano Sicilian Notes Baked Bronzer in the shade 02 Bronze Melange. I don't know why I wanted this so bad. It could be the orange packaging, who knows. But it's this beautiful swirled baked product. And it has this scent to it that I just can't put my finger on. I love a bronzer with a reddish undertone. I find it to be really flattering and natural looking on my skin because that's how I tan. I think this is probably like satin finish here, which is great for me for like the cooler months, or at least that's what I like for cooler months. So during the summer, while I feel like it makes sense to have more of a luminous bronzer, like that sun-kissed glow, I don't love it for the cooler months. So I do love more of a satin. I still want that luminous quality that looks like skin. I just don't want the sparkle or what have you. I hope that makes sense. Or maybe I'm just talking out of my rear end. So for blush, I don't know how this happened. Suddenly I'm on a kick with Juvia's Place, and I was with my sister recently at Ulta. I saw this blush palette as if I needed another one, and I had to have it. And Juvia's Place has such affordable, reasonable, I shouldn't say affordable because that's relative, but reasonable in my opinion prices, and you can use drugstore coupons or the $3.50 off coupons or non-prestige coupons on Juvia's Place if you didn't know that. So I did go ahead and pick up the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2. And the reason I picked this up, as you're going to see, is it has such unique colors. I don't have these colors in my collection, and I'm so excited to use these. I think what I'll do is put this pink one, which is called Lena, across most of my cheek, and then go in with this more luminous shade called Sola right on the apples. Maybe, or maybe I'll do Tau, it's T-A-U. I'm terrible at names. We'll just see. I'm gonna go in with the fluffy brush first, though, to go over the bulk of the cheeks, and then I'll use a smaller brush for the cheekbones, or the apples rather. But these are beautiful. I'm really impressed with the quality of the powders. And, you know, they're not patchy or anything like that. I also think this shade, Zoba, is beautiful as a topper, as well as it's actually light enough for me at this point in the game to use as a highlighter. I think I will go in with this shade, Tau, on the cheekbones. I think I'm actually going to stick with the fluffy brush just because these are very pigmented. Just because of my shirt color and stuff, I guess it's probably better to go with a warm blush today. But like I said, kind of focusing that on the cheekbones. And I don't know, they almost have a radiant quality. Whoa. They almost have a radiant quality to them, don't they? Because you know, there's nothing radiant. Well, I mean, my skin is radiant. I don't know. It's pretty. I like it. This is the Tribe Highlighter Volume 3 by Juvia's Place. This literally made me gasp when I saw this in store, to the point where people around me turned around and looked like maybe I chopped my finger off or something. But it's just gorgeous. It's the most beautiful highlighter I've ever seen, and I do not get excited about highlighter. So I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush and just absolutely pile this on. I just love it. It looks natural, but glossy, almost wet. I don't know. I hope you'll be able to see. I will get good. I will try to get nice pictures in natural lighting. I have highlighters that I love, but it's like not one of those things that I even look at when I go to Ulta or Sephora or even, you know, shopping online. I'm not like, ooh, let's see what new highlighters there are. That's not me. I like to wear highlighter, but it's not anything that normally excites me, and this one knocked my socks off if I was wearing any. I wanted to buy it that day that I was at Ulta and saw it. They didn't have one, but they're like, oh, we can order it for you, and I was like, I don't know. Like, I just wasn't sure. You know, sometimes I like to sit on things, especially this year. I mean, it may not appear so because I buy a lot of new stuff, but I actually do like to sit on things sometimes, and so I waited, but then like the next day I ordered it, and then I went to Ulta again with my sister before I received this in the mail, and they had them in stock, and I was like, damn it, I could have it today. Setting spray. This was one that I've always been interested in, but never wanted to order it just based off of people's recommendations. I'm very picky about setting sprays. Cannot have alcohol in it. It cannot stink. And it has to have like the finest mist of life. And Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I smelled it in store. I sniffed it, and I was like, yeah, I like that. And I love how fine of a mist it is. I love that I can cover my entire face with just 3 sprays, so brace yourself.
Effie, brace yourself.
Going to take my sponge and just tap over the cheeks, the nose, just kind of press down the peachy fuzz. So the palettes we're going to use today are the new Lorac palettes for the holidays. These are in collaboration with Rachel Zoe. And I have the Effortless Glamour and the Golden Eyes. So between these two palettes, there's only 2 mattes, and they are right here in the Effortless Glamour palette. So we're going to go ahead and start with those. I'm going to start with the, dang it, I don't know how to pronounce this name. I'll put it on the screen. It's Amaranth, I think. It's this rusty shade right here. And I'm going to take this pinched fluffy brush and take this on the outer part of the lid as well as into the crease. I was really excited to get these. I absolutely adore the Lorac formula. For those of you that missed it, I did work on panning my Lorac Mega Pro 2 last year and loved every minute of it. I wasn't even remotely sick of it. And I did reach my goal. I wanted to hit pan on 4 to 6 shades. I believe I hit pan on 5. And I just, you know, really wanted to get use out of it, get to know the palette better. And I felt really successful with that. Do you guys have any Lorac palettes? Do you love the Lorac formula? I know my friend Kelly from GlamWithKelly, I will link her for you. She's also a fiend, like even more so for Lorac, and she makes me want all the Lorac palettes. And I definitely would love to have more Lorac palettes. Now I'm going to go into this other matte, and it's called Sepia. I can say that one. What do I want to use to blend it out? We'll think. I need coffee. It's not that early, but I feel like it's going to be morning all day. Do you ever have days like that? And I'm going to really start this sort of on the inner part of the crease and transition area. So we have more of that light shade on the inner part here, so the eyes don't feel closed off. And then I'm going to take it just on the edge of the previous shade. I think we're going to swap over to the, what is this, Golden Eyes palette now. This is the all shimmer one. And I'm first going to go into the shade Applique, which is this little brown shimmer right here. One gripe is that they don't have the names on the packaging. They came on a little sheet. So since I don't care about the teeny tiny mirror that I couldn't even see an eyelash in, I just taped it to the mirror. It's ghetto, but it's what it is. So Applique, I'm going to put this on the very outer part of the lid and bring it up to meet the rest shade in the crease. That's really pretty. It's very like a rich chocolate brown shimmer. Very beautiful, very appropriate to anchor this look. Next, I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to go into this shade, which is called Filigree, kind of a orangey, goldy something or other. I'm going to use the same brush. We'll see what the payoff is. Then maybe go in with a Phalange. This one definitely has some glitter in it, but nothing that's falling out or anything like that. Once it's pressed onto the lid, it looks very nice and smooth. And I think that's one thing Kelly and I agree on with Lorac, is that if you have mature eyes or, you know, texture on your eyelids, these shadows, both matte and shimmer and glitter, are so forgiving, and they don't accentuate that texture. In fact, I think it can hide it at times, which is beautiful. I'm gonna go in with the Phalange now, see how that helps. Look at that color, so pretty. So, oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the Effortless Glamour palette. It's hard to keep track of them, but I'm doing my best. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Champagne, and it is a beautiful, it's glittery, but at the same time, it's not. Like, you'll see, it goes on beautifully. Actually, this shade was broken when I received my palette, and I just pressed it back into the pan. It's not a big deal. And I'm just layering this ever so slightly over the orangey shade. And this shade is definitely very soft. I can see why it would have broken possibly in transit. We're going to lay it down with the brush first, and then I'm probably going to go back in with the finger just on the lid part to intensify it. Ooh, good gravy, that's gorgeous. I'm going to press that on the lid. So pretty. Let's quick do a lower lash line. I'm just going to take that same rust shade that I can't pronounce, a little bit on a smudger brush, starting on the outer part of the lash line, and just smudge it in. Oh wow, what's on my face? Oh no, what did I touch? Okay, can we see that? We'll have to fix that in a second. I didn't know what that was. I probably just stuck my finger in one of the dark shades and then touch my face like a moron. All right, inner corner highlight. I'm just gonna use the highlight we used on the face, which is that Juvia's Place. I love it. I love it so much. Oh my. Like a shining star. I'm gonna definitely pull this up along the shade that I pulled up in the crease. It's beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Finishing off the brows with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel. This is like glue for your brows, and I actually really love it because my brows always tend to fall no matter what brow gel I use, but this one keeps them in place all day. Like, they're crunchy still when I take my makeup off at night, which is exactly what I want. I don't have a lot of brow hair, so what I do have, I really want to stay in place. All right, for the mascara, I am going to use the Dior DiorShow mascara. Again, this was a sample, actually. I didn't pay for it. It wasn't a point perk. This is a sample from Sephora, and so I was really excited when I saw it. This is just okay. I will say one thing. This is what the brush looks like. Traditional Christmas tree, as I like to call it. One thing I will say about this is that it has a fragrance. Why? Why do we put fragrance in everything? Like I said, I don't mind fragranced products, but mascara, putting a fragrance, I'm having issues today. Having a fragrance so close to your eyeballs is not cool. Not cool at all. All right, I'm gonna pop off of here real quick, grab some earrings, put my sweater on, and pick a lip for us to try, and then I will be right back. All right, lips are lined with my lips but better lip liner, which is MAC Whirl, and I think I've mentioned that I want a giveaway, which was great, from Love Heatherette. Thank you very much, Heather. And one of the, I got quite a few lippies in this giveaway, and one of them is the Smashbox Always On Liquid Lipstick in the shade Driver's Seat. And this is the formula that I really love, the red. Like, I had a red called Boss that I think is like my perfect red. So anyways, I thought we would try this one today. I'm in kind of a nude mood, whatever that means. So here we go. All right, that's a pretty warm nude. I feel like I'm gonna need a gloss, but I also feel like we need a little bit more blush. So I'm going to just go back into, well, I think I'm just gonna go between the two that we used before, the pink and the orangey shade. Yeah, that's better. Sometimes once you get the eye look done and things like that, you know, you gotta step back, assess the situation, and, you know, I usually end up adding more blush because I'm a blush junkie. This is a little Winky Luxe lip gloss. It's their Disco Gloss in this shade Foxy, and it's, you know, it's not really orange. I'm going to take this on my finger and apply it that way so we don't get the lip color in on the wand, you know what I mean? Overall, I love these products. The standout products for me today were definitely the Juvia's Place Saharan Blush Volume 2, as well as the Tribe Highlighter Volume 3. I'll get these names down eventually. Don't judge. Everything is new. Love, love, love the Missha BB cream, and I really like this bronzer from Kiko Milano. I would like to try more from them in the future. And what do you think of the look? It is what it is. This is kind of the way it goes when you're trying new makeup. Not everything goes perfectly the first time or even the second time, but this is why I try new makeup, so that I can give you sort of my thoughts and you can see the application and you can see if these products might be right for you. And with all of that said, thank you so much for spending a lot of your time here with me today. This video is already very long, but I really appreciate each and every single one of you who tune into my videos. If you love this video, if you want to see more like this, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. And I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely beautiful makeup days, and I will see you in my next video soon.